رشدي وش راك؟
I'm good, doing good. Thank you so much for asking. How are you?
I'm very good. So you're here to talk about Roman history in Algeria.
Yeah, Roman history mainly. The thing I'm more interested about is Roman Empire because the Roman period. It's super long from 7th century BC until the
14th century.
403.
Really?
Yeah,
until the fall of Constantinople. Yeah.
Actually, if we can talk about that, it's not the date where the Roman, Byzantine, Eastern Roman Empire fell, actually.
Mm-hmm.
Because after that, two other empires were still remaining. The Byzantium, the Trabzon Empire, it's located in the city of Trabzon. And another one in Crimea,
What was it called?
I forgot his name because it wasn't that famous, but it was the last stand of the Romans.
Okay. Yeah, I see. So what I'm interested about is when I go to Tipaza, I see all these Roman ruins.
Yeah.
I also see some sort of pyramid. Can we call it a pyramid?
Something like that. I don't know honestly the origin of it, but because that was a mausoleum of the royal mausoleum of the last king of Numidia, Yuba II, and his wife Cleopatra Selene. Her name is Selene, which means the moon.
Yeah.
And she had a twin brother called Ptolemy Helios, and Helios means the sun.
Yeah.
So Mark Antony with Cleopatra 7. Cleopatra Philopatra, I think, which means lover of her father or something like that. So they had these two kids, and after Mark Antony got defeated by Augustus, who became the first. His name was Octavian, actually. Yeah. He became the first Roman emperor. So he took them with him as some sort of trophy, and he raised them with him. Like in Rome, and then he sent them like as a couple, let's say, as being married to rule Numidia, who was still a client state, if we can call it like that.
Yeah.
Because after that, at 40 AD, like Numidia was over. Like the rulers, like why we call Yuba II the last king of Numidia, because at 40 under Caligula, it was like abolished, let's say, and it became a proper Roman province, and the capital was Shirshel, the city. Yeah. So if you talked about the pyramid, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. What do you know about it? Like,
I only know that it's related to Mark Antony, who was the rival of Julius Caesar.
No. He wasn't the right hand of Julius Caesar, actually.
Okay, he wasn't his rival.
No,
okay.
He was the rival of Octavian, who was the great nephew of Julius Caesar.
I guess I assumed he was his rival because they were both the lovers of Cleopatra at some point of their lives.
Yeah, and Anthony became the lover of Cleopatra after. Yeah.
Okay.
So it's funny. Like, let's set some rules or boundaries. Okay.
Right.
So there is the Roman kingdom, the heptarchy, 7 kings of Rome. They ruled from 7 BC till 5 BC. And the first semi-mythological king was Romulus. You know the story between Romulus and Remus?
I don't know.
You don't know?
Tell me about it.
Why it's called Rome, actually. Because the main founder, he's called Romulus.
Huh.
Yeah, you know la Louve, l'histoire تاع la Louve qui a pris sous son aile هذوك les deux rois تاع روم. كاين دوكا شت تيم تاع روما اسي روما ولا جو سي با كوا اس روما تاع فوتبول.
Yeah, I see.
Symbol تاعها, if you can look for it, symbol تاعها like there is like 2 kids يرضعوا
from
female in Louvre. So that was the myth. باللي هذا myth نشهر في الأينايد. سي لو بويت فيرجيل Octavian اللي هو Augustus told him to write something like l'Odyssey et l'Iliade تاع Homer. You know them. Yeah, تاع Ulysse and stuff.
Yeah.
So he tried to kind of bring all those stories and bind them to Rome. You see.
Yeah.
So the main, let's say the founder, the first king of Rome was called Romulus. And he killed his brother اللي كان زعما rival تاعو, and they like some historian claim باللي same as Qabil and Habil, you know, one killed his brother and stuff. So Romulus was the first king. Why I say semi-mythologic? Because they cannot prove that he existed. So you have period of 200 years with 7 kings.
Yeah.
And then you have the period of the Republic, Roman Republic.
Okay.
Where
Did it start with Caesar?
Republic?
Yeah.
It started at 5 BC and it ended actually with
Caesar.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, at certain degree. So the Republic, I don't know where it started, because the Republic, like, you have almost 500 years of history.
Yeah.
So I'm not interested in the Republic actually. Republic وش شهدت Republic؟ شهدت باللي يافي لي 3 guerres puniques. Punic War رقم 1 تاع it was like Carthage like made the biggest fleet on earth, and Rome اللي خاطيهم كامل بحر وهذا السؤال fighting and stuff, rowing and everything. Rome اللي خلتها تولي une puissance énorme c'est que يدوا من عند جيرانهم and they improve.
Yeah.
Everything they did that. كاين في لا première guerre punique اللي صارت في البحر لي رومان باش دونك تيماجين دو باتو كيفاش يدابزوا، ما كانش لي كانون، ما كان والو. لي رومان خدموا واحد لو تروك نسيت كيفاش سموه هذيك شغل شفت المقدمه تاع البابور هذيك. they created something like harpoon هكا يكرو شي ان بون اللي يقدروا يروحوا يطاكيو. دونك مايغري لي فينيسيان كان عندهم like ages ملي راهم salesmen شيء.
They never thought of something as dialogue.
They never thought about something. Yeah, اللي رومان داروها and they won the first Punic War.
Okay.
And they imposed huge taxes on Carthage. All right. And then there is the second Punic War اللي كانت مع Hannibal. You know, Hannibal معروف, one of the greatest generals on earth. And I admire him as hell. Sadly, Hannibal Barca or Barca اللي جت منه مدينة برشلونة.
Okay.
His father Hamilcar Barca اللي أسس مدينة برشلونة. And هذا Hamilcar أعطاك شغل pledge to his son, you will never be friend of Rome. And since he was young, هذا Hannibal كان his dream ولا his mission to destroy Rome.
Okay.
Like مصغره رباوه, you will destroy Rome. So he worked on that, and if you can see Hannibal and most of the people at that time were called Baal at the end, Baal, le dieu Baal, you know. So the Hannibal and his brother, the brother can called Hasdrubal, and I think so. Even Amazigh rulers, I don't like to use Berber because it's Jay from Barbary, from les barbares, les michés.
It's a racist term.
Racist, let's say, yeah. Kima, even if when we say Byzantine Empire, it's not also, it's wrong. So we prefer not to enter into that.
We should say Roman Empire?
Eastern Roman. Eastern. Because Byzantine actually was made 200 years after the fall of the Byzantine Empire, Eastern Roman.
Okay.
It was made by someone who lived in the Holy Roman Empire. The Holy Roman Empire اللي هو الألمان وكامل. Austro-Hungarian.
I thought that fell after the Byzantine Empire.
Yes, that one fell in like 1800 and something.
So wasn't like the Romans didn't survive until 1800 and something?
The Romans like...
that was the Holy Roman Empire. So
that's the thing. That's why he named that empire Eastern Roman. You see, that's why he named it Byzantine, because they live in the Holy Roman Empire. So how, like, we are the Romans. ما نقدرش نسمي واحد آخر. Imagine إحنا سمونا Algerians and some other people claiming to be Algerians.
I see.
So I give them another name. But if you go to the period of Byzantine Empire, Eastern Roman Empire, and you go and call him like you live in Byzantium or something like that, either he will beat you or he won't understand or something, you see.
Okay.
Yeah. So if we go and continue the second Punic War, Hannibal معروف he brought elephants through the Alps.
Les
Alpes.
Yeah.
and he defeated the Romans in one of the bloodiest battles.
How did he do that? How did he bring elephants to the Arabs?
That's the thing. That's the difference between.
Were they Asian or African elephants?
African elephants اللي انقرضوا دوكا.
Wow.
انقرضوا. They don't exist anymore. That species. كانوا قصار. They can ride them easily. You see.
Okay.
دوكا actual overexploitation خلاص ما مش existing. So he used the technique اللي كانت like he got help from all the provinces تاع أفريقيا تاع he even they first Punic War جابوا general from Sparta actually to help them, you know.
Yeah.
So thank you. Later. So he used like each place, like each army, auxiliary army had its strong point, you know.
Yeah.
So he used that. He knew how to use the strength to each.
A bit like the Persians. كانوا يديروا واحد الوقت. تاني.
Which period? Which fighter?
Persians. وش يسموه؟
battle تاع Xerxes هذيك اللي نعرفوها تاع
Xerxes وحتى قبل منه Darius etc. Darius started it with every time he would conquer people, he would like let them be themselves. At the same time, like give me some of your best men to fight for me.
Yeah, the Roman
with
did
your
that
styles,
actually.
etc.
Yeah, the Roman بداوا يديروها ولا سموها the auxiliary unit. It was like we will talk about a little bit about it. Let's continue. Just parce que كان نهضروا على history, like you go from here.
Yeah, that's the problem.
Yeah, so let's try to stick. Yeah. So we stick with Hannibal, and he defeated the Romans in one of the most bloodiest battles called Cannae. Okay, and the Romans like lost one of the like three battles. They lost so many men, and it was like a disaster.
Yeah.
The three Cannae هي الأولى اللي Hannibal like he did his army like that into some sort of arch.
Yeah.
Like, and he put the weak in the center.
Okay.
And like the strong men in the sides. So the weak, the Romans جاوا لهم هكا قبالة في الوسط. So the weak, they are going to die.
Okay.
صافي الآخرين بدأوا يطبعوا. What did he do? Il a encerclé هذوك الويك. Il a encerclé l'armée romaine. قتلهم كامل.
Okay.
كامل. Literally. Yeah. And he took their rings. I don't know if that's a myth or real. And he gave it to the people of Carthage who didn't believe in him, I think, if I'm not mistaken.
Yeah.
If I'm not saying something wrong. Parce que like they couldn't. And imagine like he came from les Alpes, les جبال. ولي روما كانوا عارفين باللي no one is going to attack from there. C'est pas logique. Donc they used to put the veterans and those people who never fought in their lives يعسوا them. So imagine someone who's old or inexperienced ويشوف elephants. He never seen elephants in their life. Like, can you imagine? Like, so
total freak out.
Yeah, total failure. But the sad thing is that he never marched to Rome, Hannibal. Never. No one knows why, actually.
How come? Yeah, that was his point.
Yeah,
he could have done so since he defeated the Romans.
I don't know. No one knows. Until now, they don't know. Problem is in the history that at that time, Hannibal كان داخل روم وكان كاين سكيبيو افريكانوس. هذا سكيبيو كان هما لا باس تاعهم سيتي تاع هانيبال تاع باباه سيتي اسبانيا دوكا قلت لك برشلونه هو اللي اسس باباه. صافي سكيبيو راح يعطيك برشلونه. صافي شغل it was like two ways war. وهذا سكيبيو لا فامي تاع سكيبيو it was famous باسكو ذاك الوقت سيتي سوسيتي باترياركال وسوسيتي تاع يحبوا the fame or like ancestry like if you can say it like that. شغل لي فامي اللي يحكموا اوليغارشي باش سبا. دونك سكيبيو كان ينتمي لواحد العائله اللي like it was معروفه. And like they didn't believe بلي راح يغلب هانيبال ولا راح يقدر يدخل ديجا يغلب لي كارتاجينوات هذاك الوقت سيتي بيونيك people. So طاولوا هذه لا ميسيون قالوا له okay take any man you want and go and try to defeat them in Spain. And he did. So after a period, like they lost the second Punic War, and then came the third Punic War. No, second Punic War يدخل le rôle تاع les Algériens. I call them the descendants of Algerian, okay? Parce que ذاك الوقت il y avait pas vraiment Algerians.
The ancestors of Algeria.
Yeah, ancestors. هنا يبان ماسينيسا.
اوكي
alright that period كان كاين لي ماسيل لي ماسيسيل. right so Africa like North Africa can divided between لي ماسيل و لي ماسيسيل. so لما I don't want to say any mistake because like either لي ماسيل كان يحكم فيهم ماسينيسا كانت كابيتال تاعهم سيرتا وروح هضوات ويافي كارتاج تما c'était pas vraiment grand. وكاين لي ماسيسيل اللي كان يحكم فيهم سايفاكس
انت موجد
something like that. Yeah, I'm not sure about it actually because the Roman period اللي ماهيش my
كانوا-
strong point.
كانوا في I think كانوا في رشقون ولا في بني صعف.
I just know باللي كانت في الويست. ومن بعد what happened look the ماسينيسا كانوا في زوج. شوف ماسينيسا كان مع كارثاج ومن بعد they hated each other ماسينيسا مع سايفاكس وبعد that one سايفاكس sided with the Romans. okay ومن بعد they switched كي سايفاكس شاف بلي هانيبال راح يربح sided with Hannibal. ماسينيسا sided with Romans.
Okay.
and they give them men and everything. So what happened when the Romans won? They rewarded ماسينيسا with the land. صافي ولا هو الكينج تاع نوميديا اللي كانت عاصمة تاعها سيرتا at that time. So من ذاك الوقت they some historians say Algerian historians they say بلي ماسينيسا was a traitor and stuff. So un traître le plus grand traître de l'histoire and stuff. They name him like that. Surtout كي داروا هذيك لا ستاتيو في تافورا تاع ماسينيسا. Some people like don't like it بصح.
No, I think it's political agenda تاع دوكا تاع الوقت تاعنا.
Voilà. It's political. Now
yeah.
they use it. كيما if we can say this like Hitler tried to use Arminius. You know Arminius?
No.
You know the la série Barbare on Netflix.
No.
يحكوا على let's
The
go back
Celtic
to
Wars. The Celtic Wars.
No, هنا Arminius. Let's go back to the three like biggest defeats تاع the Romans.
Okay.
كان كاناي اللي كانت مع هانيبال ومن بعد كاراي اللي كانت في وقت سيزر بصح ماشي كانت before سيزر كان في جول وهي صارت من جهة سوريا. And the third biggest defeat هو توتبورغ فورست. هذه لا فوري تاع توتبورغ في الألمان. أرمينيوس هذا رباه فاروس كما يقولوا اون لاتين. رباه كاينه شيء معروفه لا بروميير سيزون شابه بصح سكند سيزون I didn't watch it because I knew دخل شغل you know romanticizing something just to make money Netflix. So أرمينيوس هذا رباه كان وليد شيف تاع واحد تخيبي ثما شغل دومونداوه شغل غارونتي صافي هذا لو شيف عطاه الواروس هذا رباه واروس ومن بعد ولا ان رومان واروس كاسكي لا بروبوزي زعما you go there and you become ruler ومن بعد they started to rebel صافي أرمينيوس قال له we will crush them all شغل follow me وهذا واروس سيتي ان شيف شغل كان عنده 3 ليجيون 3 رومان ليجيون عباك شحال فيها رومان ليجيون فيها بين 5000 سولدا بين 4800 و 5000 سولدا جوسكا 6000 الارقام يتبدلوا دونك 15000 سولدا يعني سولدا رومان ماشي بيزنت ولا ستي سولدا حياته كومبلي 25 سنه سيرفيس دونك يدرب ماخذ ماشين دو غير وعندهم لي بوزيسيون لي تري بيان اورغانيزي لارمي رومان دونك 15000 سولدا pour ils vont gagner 100%. ومن بعد هذا أرمينيوس كيس كيلا في شغل في ظهر واروس راح سي يجمع لي تريبي باسكو لي تريبي كانوا ما يتفاهموش مع بعضهم سي يجمعهم كي جمعهم دخلهم في هذه لا فوري وين لارمي رومان ما قدرتش باسكو لارمي رومان لونيتي دو كومبا سي سابيل سنتوري فيها 100 سولدا بين 80
ديفونديو على ارواحهم
فوالا هذو لي سنتوري لا بوزيسيون شغل كي يولوا ان سنتوري شغل كي يجيبوا هذيك البوزيسيون لا فورماسيون تاعهم يو اولموست كانوا ديفيت الا زعما
التانك اوف
فوالا تانك شغل سيلف سفيشنت مع اللي يحكم فيهم سموها كانتوريون سنتوريون منها جات كلمه سنتوري قرن 100 سنه دونك في هذه لا فوري توتبورغ كانوا اوبليجي يولوا قباله يمشوا قباله هكا باسكو ضيقه ثم اللي اتاكاهم أرمينيوس وارث شغل إلى دير كونفيونس في أرمينيوس باللي il va pas être un traître donc خانوا أرمينيوس ومن بعد ولا like king for few years ومن بعد جا جرمانيكس اللي سماوه جرمانيكس باسكو defeater of the Germans. هذا جرمانيكس واحد ما درت في واحد لي بوست من هذوك اللي بوستيهم سي وحده اسمها أنطونيا ماينر كانت بنت خد أوغسطس first emperor and her son was Germanicus. They defeated the Germans. شغل أرمينيوس خانهم مالغري قتلهم وكامل. بصح روم took its revenge like 100%. كانت قادرة جرماني تولي une province romaine ومن بعد they didn't want it. They weren't interested in it.
I see. Yeah.
So what was your question again? You asked me something.
My question.
trader تاع ماسينيسا. نهضروا على ماسينيسا.
نحوس على هذا البوست تاعك اللي تهضر عليه.
Go to like a woman written your crush.
Right. I think I saw it. Your crush and
هذا كامل it's like هذيك ستاتيو في الموزي هذا تاع لونتيكيتي.
وكيف تقول الموزي هذا تاع لونتيكيتي وين جاي الموزي؟
في تيليملي.
وي
تطلع لوندا مقابل جاردن بعد الفوق موزي اللي مقسم اسلاميك هذاك ستيل البروميير موزي في
ماشي كسروه واحد الوقت
دخلوا ليه في 2019 كسروا واحد لي ستاد.
شكون اللي دخل له؟
كيف وقت الحراك هكا شيء so they don't give much details they didn't give us according to اللي خدموا ثم قالوا لي بلي دخلوا سرقوا سيف باسكو في الموزي الاسلامي كاين سيوف داخل لي فوزي وكامل دونك دخلوا وبعد كي جاوا ليهم لا بوليس واش داروا باش يقيسوهم according to people there باسكو كاينه اون ستيل اللي نعرفها صورتها رحت ليهم في بلاصتها وقلت لهم ما كاش وين راهي قالوا لي بلي كسروها ومن بعد باش بداو يقيسوا في لا بوليس 2000 سنه كسر 2000 سنه مينيموم 1800
بصح at the same time عبالك I could literally go to Musée des Beaux-Arts ندي تابلو تاع موني ونجيبو نحطو نعلقو في بيتي nobody would know security in our museums is really bad. كشغل عنده كاميرا
هذو كاميرات
هذا كاميرا تقدر تعطيها بظهرك like مش عارف تقدر تلبس كاسكيطة ما يشوفوكش. A lot of things could be done about cameras. وواحد الوقت راني شافي I used to go there in 2015 there weren't even cameras.
صافي you can take anything.
Yes كانوا كاينين بيكاسوز like كاين واحد الوقت داروا سكتش بوك تاع ماشي سكتش بوك like ورقه مسكتشي فيها بيكاسو himself بالكريون تاعو اكسترا like it was a concept thing محطوطه like literally محطوطه. انا ماشي سراق بصح لو كان جيت سراق عندي هذاك الفيس there you go فهمني واش حابين نقول لك
كيما في بارتي تاع البونز كاين واحد لا سكولتور سموها سموها لونفون اي ليغليون بالبونز معروفه. كاين واقيلا مش لو سكولتور هذاك واقيلا خدم ربعه في لو موند في وقت لي رومان. هذيك لا سكولتور هذيك يو كان ستيل ات لايك دايرينها في ان كاري هكا دو تاع زجاج يو كان ستيل ات اند يو نو البونز يسوى بليونز لايك مليونز ماشي بليونز
ماشي غير على هذه يو كنت سالت في الاخر في لو مارشي نوار في حياتك شغل معدا تروح تعيش تفواياجي
you can do everything. That's why في الجزائر people can find actually des trucs هكا pièces de poterie et tout but the rule لو كان يلقاوها عندك you have to give it to the state. لو كان يلقاوها عندك you will pay une amende كامل باسكو ما عندكش لو droit تكسبها. It belongs to the state. Sad thing is that sometimes they don't really give them like much credit. If you give it to an archaeologist, they will hide it, like make some research on it, hide it, and you will never see it. ما توليش exposed.
يعني typical us.
Typical. That's the thing.
Yeah.
So that's the problem.
اللي at the same time like the whole security تاع museums تاعنا is based on the ignorance of the people. I mean last time it's amazing شغل ما حتى ما حيجي يسرق because nobody even comes
ديجا دايرين لي ستيل حاطينهم برا في الميوزي هذوك حاطينهم برا
ايش هذوك حاطينهم برا
حاطين لك ستيل في عمرها 2000 سنه
جيب فورغون
you can take it بون ثقيله شويه بصح كاين اللي خفاف you can literally take it and go كاينه واحد لا ستيل حاطينها برا كامل درت عليها انتروداكسيون تاع مخشي واحد الراجل اسمه فوسفورس خدم مارشي خدم تامبل وكامل ويديروا ديديكيشن هذه تو دياكاليستي هي تانيت لا دياس تاع تونس اللي عليها مسميه تونس ثيوري alright سو تانيت يعني حاطينها برا سو تدخل الميوزي ادغوات في هذيك الساحه هذيك برا يو كان لوك اون ذا رايت سايد تلقى هذيك لاستيل يا مالغري دا كاين على السيستم مي لايك اوكي حاطينها برا
فهمتني اكزاكتلي والعساس هذاك داك تقول كاين صح يوجوالي ما كاشو a lot of the times كنت معك I just happen to get a look شغل وعرف I'm here to steal شغل نقول this would be easy
it's like one great, last time كي كنت داير ان تور ما the man told me don't touch الحجر هذوك les inscriptions sometimes when I explain I touch them I know it's a bad habit but he told me like Kane camera you know hi camera I was like it's my mistake I'm sorry I'm not supposed to touch I know I'm not supposed to touch actually because c'est délicat je touche pas les sculptures mais les inscriptions parce que juste pour montrer où exactement so if we continue Massinissa كملت نوميديا هذيك كملت ومن بعد صرات ديكار اللي والله ما على بالي باسكو لا ريبوبليك I'm not interested that much in the republic مي I know باللي صرات لا ريفولت تاع يوغرطا لا ريفولت كونتر لي رومان
اوكي
صراو هما 3 ريفولت امازيغ on dit pas berbère parce que it's a bad word
it's a racist
so صراو 3 ريفولت امازيغ لا ريفولت الاولى سيتي لا ريفولت تاع جوغرطا يوغرطا اللي حبس لا ريفولتا يوغرطا اللي شغل defeated him بون خانو واحد مروكي خانو نسيبه ولا جو سي با نسيت واش يكون مي خانو هو راح ليه تو اسك ريفيوج هو عيط للرومانز and delivered him to them so مروكي من ذاك الوقت so اللي defeated him called Gaius Marius هذا Gaius Marius هو اللي خدم لا ريفورم تاع the Roman Legion هو اللي رجع الليجنز that powerful باسكو كاين the Republican army ومن بعد كاين the Imperial army هو اللي رجعها بروفيسيونيل رجعهم يخدموا 25 سنة رجعهم هو اللي قسم هذا كنتوريون ومن بعد كوهورت ومن بعد ليجيون ومن بعد هو اللي دار كامل هذا دونك ظهروا يوغرطا when he tried the revolt look at ما جاش Gaius Marius maybe he would have won
okay
بصح كي جا Gaius Marius ومن بعد Gaius Marius صرات une guerre civile la première guerre civile في l'époque تاع la République Gaius Marius contre Sulla
اوكي
هذا من بعد سولا الى غاني سولا الديسيبل تاعو كان بومبي ماغنس بومبي ماغنس هو اللي دار لا دوزيام غير سيفيل كونت سيزر
اوكي
كاين لا سيري روم هذيك تاع 2005 وقيله ولا 2006 دارتها HBO بعد كي خلصت
دواف كان فلوس
it's a famous it's really good if you want to understand you can watch it so that was the second civil war سيزر خافوا منه كيربح دخل الجول ودخل حتى بريتن
دار هولوكوست
he killed واحد لا سيتي اللي هذيك لا سيتي في فرنسا ولا دوكا سي اورليون سموها اورليون هذيك لا سيتي قتلهم هذوك الناس اللي كانوا يسكنوا فيها they became extinct من الاخر شغل نحاهم من الاكسيستانس it's funny so هذيك لا سيتي ولا سموها دوكا اورليون جايه
يعني I'm sorry قطعتك بصح غير هاد الحكايه تاع سيزر كي طلع لاغول وكي تلاقى مع لي سيلت وكيفاش حكايه مش عارف اذا اسمهم لي سيلت ولا لي كلت
I don't know
هاد الحد
مي wait let me excuse me سي كان يتقرا ك في الانسيان لاتن ماشي اكليسياستيكال وان كاين كلاسيك لاتن and yeah you understand it that second one is the one they used في la Renaissance بصح بكري they used to use k and there is no v I said varus and then I said varus you know so v ما كاش كاين شغل و
okay
you see so that's the two differences that's why you كانوا يكتبوها شغل v if you have seen the inscriptions I don't know
yeah but what I was trying to say c'est juste que ce serait intéressant بالك واش ندير un podcast غير على سيزر كي طلع لاغول اي شغل he was so overpowering the rest. شغل داروا كامل وش يقدروا. جابوا the numbers, جابوا like the fiercest warriors. They organized themselves, etc. بصح هو كان شغل technologically هارب عليهم بزاف. It was وشغل it ended with a small percentage of humanity dying because of him. شغل قتل a small percentage of humanity في هذاك الوقت.
هو قتل
ما توقع لا الحق وقع 4% تاع الانسانيه ماتوا غير في هذاك الحق.
هو قلت لك هذيك لا تريبو اللي كان راحه كامل كيف بدات سيزر عليها راح للجول. هما لي رومان ما عندهمش الحق يبداو ان غير سوا لازمك شغل يدو بينيديكسيون تاع جودز اور something like that. So كانت واحد لا تريبو لا ريجيون اللي كانوا ساكنين فيها. هذه لا تريبو اللي كانوا ساكنين فيها بدات ما تجيبش شغل I don't know how to explain that. شغل المعيشه ولات عيبه. راحوا نورمالمون لي تريبو واحد اخرى يعيشوا معاهم. Caesar saw that as offending. عليها started الى مارشي الى crossed the not the Rhine another rivière. ولات كلمه معروفه هذه. Caesar فتح حتى بريطن. ومن بعد when they saw him that strong بحثوا له قالوا له اوكي ارجع تخلي الليجيون هذيك وارجع. رجع بالليجيون تاعو. So when they knew باللي راهو راجع بالليجيون تاعو they thought باللي خلاص he became a king and it was republic. باسكو كاين consul في Roman period consul واحد يحكم عام وعنده proconsul معاه يحكموك شغل زوج مع بعض. consul proconsul يحكم عام. Caesar شغل he exceeded that period. They were like afraid. كان proconsul تاع Caesar I think Pompey Magnus اللي عليه بدات civil war.
Yeah.
So the second civil war ربحها Caesar. وين ربحها؟ راح لإيجيبت ولا مع كليوباترا. And Cleopatra asked for her because I think one of her brothers were trying to take the throne. And there هذاك the second family تاع Ptolemaic Egypt. He tried to gain favor مع Caesar. So they killed Pompey. And they brought him his head. كاينه في لاسيري هذيك كي جابوا له هذيك السين. And he was like he زعف قال لهم he was a consul of Rome, like you cannot kill him. So ومن بعد عليها Caesar got killed by Brutus and Cassius and it's famous. قتلوه في لوسينا when قتلوه في إيدوس مارتي سي نهضروا على الكالندري روما ولا سبا. You know, I don't know the time it will take. I told you like it needs like so many episodes because like okay الكالندري روما تشوف هذو اليامات اللي انا نخدموا بهم اليوم اليامات وشهور سي روما سي روما 100%. اليوم واش رانا اليوم vendredi c'est Veneris dies c'est le jour de Vénus. Vénus la déesse ou Vénus la planète parce que huma les dieux les planètes عطاو لهم les noms تاع les dieux تاعهم. You know like Jupiter and everything and Saturn اللي هو السبت Saturday. So they had a great influence on the calendar. So Romans they had 3 days like marking days في الشهر. عندهم calends اللي منها جت كلمة calendar to call. And they have the nones اللي جاي من كلمة 9 نوم 9 وكاين إيدوس اللي هما نص تاع كل شهر.
Okay.
All right. So Caesar was killed on Idus Mars Idus 15.
Okay.
So the nones هما 9 أيام قبل الإيدوس. You see? So today is December 9th. All right. وفيه 31 صافي النص تاعو سي لو 15. إلا كان فيه 30 النص تاعو سي لو 13. 13. ماشي 14 13. Because like شهور ما كانوش فيهم 31 ولا ما كاش 30 ما يحبوش لو شيفر رون هذا round number. It's جيب لهم شغل لا بيست هكا. It's not lucky number. كيما Japanese they hate the fourth number 4.
Yeah.
So Romans they used to have even numbers I think they are called.
The Americans hate the 13th.
13 جايه ما كاين واحد في فرنسا هذه صارت نهار اللي قتلوا لي خوازي جو بونس نهار اللي قتلوا لي ديرني تمبلي. So we were saying about the dates, right? So كي فيه 31 صافي لو 15 ديسمبر فيه 30 لو 15 صافي تحسب لو 15 صافي 15 14 13 12 11 10th 9th. So today واش نكتبوا D NTDM
Mhm.
7 Calends Idus December.
Okay.
So if you I don't know, it's confusing.
I got
It's
it, I got
hella
it,
confusing. Ça fait وشنو NTDM avant 7 jours des Idus تاع décembre. Ça fait يحسبوا هكا inclusive counting. You see they include the day هذاك النهار اللي راح يحسبوا ليه they include it. ويزيدوا يروحوا يحسبوا هكا شغل الاغيار. هذه كاينه في واحد الانسكريبشن ثم انستال في الموزي مكتوباها 4 كالند ياناريوس اللي هي 4 كالند سي لو بروميير جور تاع جانفي ياناريوس سي جانفي صافي عندك 1 جانفي 31 30 29 صافي لا دات سي لو 29 ديسمبر تاع هذاك العام.
Okay.
You see, so they created actually Roman created the dates. اللي مازالوا they exist in French, you know,
Okay.
like you have samedi is sabbatum dies تاع le sabbat شباط تاع les juifs.
ماشي
It was called Saturn Day. In English بقات Saturn Day بصح en français بدلوها على le sabbat.
Okay.
All right. So dimanche il a فقط les jours en français كامل يخلصوا بالدي lundi mardi mercredi. دي سي دي اس نهار وديمونش يبدا بالدي علاه بكري كنسموه سوليس دي اس نهار تاع الشمس.
اوكي
دوكا ولا سموه ديمونش اللي هي جايه من ديس دومينيكا لو جور دو سينيور. You see باسكو ولاو كريستيان so they followed that. So dimanche dies dominica, lundi lunes di lunae dies, so le jour de la lune, mardi Mars, le jour de Mars, mercredi le jour de Mercure, le dieu تاع commerce اللي هو équivalent تاع Hermes, jeudi Jovis dies, Jupiter, vendredi Veneris dies تاع Venus, samedi, you know, and in English it started like they kept 3 days. I think they kept Saturday, Sunday and Monday. Saturday Saturn, Sunday jour de Sunday, le jour تاع الشمس إلى الشمس it has like a lot of stories behind it parce que هو origin تاع Christmas they think. The god of the sun was called Sol Invictus, the invincible sun. And there is one reference one source اللي تقول باللي that Sol Invictus عنده like نهار قصير كامل في العام كان 25 ديسمبر يديروا une fête. And when Christianity became allowed, they took that day and they put it as Christmas. You see? So that's why they kind of say to the Christians, you have like Christmas is a pagan day. It's not a real feast. Yeah. And there is another source that say it's Saturnalia. Saturnalia, it's the feast ta Saturn. Le dieu Saturn كانت between 17th and 23rd of December. Okay. So واش كانوا يديروا في ساتورناليا اللي عندنا بوكو سورس يهضروا على ساتورناليا كانوا يمدوا لبعضهم بعض لي كادو. They do it in Christmas. كانوا the slaves used to be served by their masters. So ينقلبوا لي غول. So like they used to like serve them the food and take them as if they allow them to speak. They allow them to at certain degree like insult them and everything. So we have two sources على Christmas. Est-ce que they don't believe it was the birth of Jesus. You see. Either source تقول لك باللي it was taken after Saturnalia ومن بعد رجعوها into Christmas ولا Sol Invictus.
Okay.
There is also another depiction of Sol Invictus اللي وروه عنده halo because it's the sun.
Yeah.
Ça te dit quelque chose halo?
Yeah,
Jesus and the saints and everything. So they say باللي la base تاع early Christianity هي paganism تاع polytheistic religions اللي كانوا في Roman period. So that's a whole topic because like early Christianity it's so huge, right? Like they were persecuted Christians and everything.
وهذاك الوقت شغل احنا بالك ما فهموهاش مليح بس هذاك الوقت شغل being Christian is being progressive, being modern شغل مانيش عارف كيفاش
when it became allowed ولا قبل
I suppose Saint Augustine qui
هذيك مور ما ولات الله يهديها.
Saint Augustine qui ولا Christian qui جاب Christianity هنا to North Africa. Actually, he was seen ولا he was considering himself as this forward-thinking guy compared to his
past life, because actually Saint Augustine, you know, like he's like between scholars تاع Roman period and early Christianity. عنده واحد prayer, he said like God bring me chastity and stuff like that. يكملها but not yet. You see? Because he enjoys life, he enjoys lust, he enjoys everything, you know. So he was controversial guy actually. Malgré il est شغل معبود worldwide دوكا ومعروف.
يعني he's à l'image des prêtres اللي حين يجوا مراه يعني.
Yeah, actually like شوف Christianity كي جات وكامل at first Romans they allow des nouvelles religions كامل as long as you pay the taxes and it doesn't bother the
So what happened to the Christians?
Christians كي جاو at first they didn't really persecute them. All right,
okay.
They persecuted them after Nero.
Yeah, خاطرش they crucified Jesus. And it is the case whether you're Christian ولا Muslim. علقوه ولا مش عارف ما عدا either you believe that Jesus طلع ولا Jesus died. So what led to this? Since they didn't persecute
you know, في هذيك inscription above Jesus they said Jesus of Nazareth, King of the Jews.
Okay.
قلت لك أنا as long as they Roman you can believe in anything, any god, as long as you pay your taxes وما تديرش شغل مشاكل في الامباير.
Yeah.
You see, so he was seen as someone perturbateur. راح تخسر لنا السلام تاعنا البيس. And that's the thing. So فهذيك إلى شتلك خوا تاع لي زورتودوكس خوا فيها حاجه عوجل تحته وخوا صغيره من تحت. هذيك لتحت سي وين حط رجليه يعلقوه والفوقه مكتوبه فيها inscription Jesus de Nazareth, King of the Jews. So he was seen as someone perturbateur, not really. And according to Caesarea مشيت على شرشال كاينه واحده في فلسطين. They found the name تاع هذاك je sais pas كاسمو هذاك شي البريفي ليسونسيال اللي كان مسؤول على هذيك لا ريجيون اللي هو الى ordered his crucifixion. So that they found باللي it was real because like now كي بعثت لك ميساج قلت لك باللي when you use the historical method on religion it gets sus. Especially in Islam, like stuff we are not allowed to talk here and nowhere, like even between you and me I must trust you enough to tell you about that because like the historical method is when you like okay, let's say Jesus existed. What is the like the earliest non-biased source اللي تقول باللي he existed?
You see? I looked this up at some point. I looked this up and it's not absolutely sure he existed, and it could have been like multiple people. بصح it's likely that he did exist.
Yeah, I told you باللي they found هذاك النيم تاع le gars le préfet هذاك اللي ordered his execution and everything. بصح the gospels, the four gospels were written like far beyond his death, you know. And they were written in Greek and everything. Even the name Yesu, it's Yesu, you know. Yeshua. That's Yesu, not Jesus. That final S is in Greek, you know. They add it as because Greek and Latin they have nominal grammatical cases. So Yesu وبعد زيد S تاع زعما no ablative and dative and accusative.
كيما كون تاع Japanese, something like that.
I don't know Japanese, but the languages they are still using this. Can Russian, can like Greek and Latin, they have these rules, and like the Slavic languages still use it. Like Georgian language also uses that, and it's hard for me. I find it hard actually. So like they don't have actually real source, and they don't know how he looked like. All right, you can.
Was he black?
What?
Was he black?
No. What is the earliest depiction of Jesus? What was it? Like?
Probably 200 years later.
It was 100 and something. But what did it look like? Like
A baby?
it was a meme, actually. You know.
It was a meme.
Yeah, it
How
was.
so?
It's the earliest depiction. It was a meme. It's called Alexamenos worshipping his god. They found it in villa of. You can look for it if you have internet
Okay,
now.
I'll-
Alexamenos worshipping his god. It's called. So on the wall of one villa from لقاو باللي one guy لقاو شغل هكا graffiti. And next to that graffiti came a donkey crucified.
Okay.
If you can see it.
I see.
You see donkey crucified, and there is a guy kind of
This is
worshipping
bad.
that god. And it's
This
written,
is very bad.
yeah, it's written, and that donkey has a butt in his face as a mouth, if you can see closely. You see? So it's written Alexamenos, who is that guy, worshipping his god. And that's the earliest depiction of Jesus Christ. Malakhar.
Shit.
You know, it's a meme.
My God.
So yeah, before that there wasn't like we don't know how he looked like exactly, and his appearance went into phases. Honestly, the most like look كاين في الميوزي تاعنا هنايا اللي I tell people when we do tours I tell them like كاين ان ساركوفاج سموه ساركوفاج دي 7 ميراكل
Okay.
وجيزو اللي مورينو تما ما عندوش لحيه ولابس لبسه تاع روما. I tell them باللي بكري جيزو ما كانش كاين شغل اون فيرسيون كونو كيما دوكا نعرفوا شعره طويل و
He's a rock star.
يا شعره طويل عنده اللحيه and stuff. They didn't know how he looked like, so each region had its own idea, and they kind of agreed باللي عنده اللحيه وكامل in référence للgods pagan gods اللي يوبيتر وزوس وكامل كانت عندهم لحيه. You know, so he was seen as someone like that. And they also refer him to, there is one guy, he's called Apollinus of Tyana, I think. That Apollinus of Tyana, اللي كان يكزيستي في period في ذاك الوقت. He used to cure people, he used to revive the dead, he used to walk on the sea and stuff. You can find videos on that if you are interested. هذا Apollinus is what he is depicted with a beard and stuff, and he disappeared miraculously one day. You see, so the sources that Jesus are very like it's like early Christianity is very like weird and stuff like. You can spend your whole life learning about that, and you cannot really understand. Like you cannot be sure that if he existed. And the second thing, just between parentheses. They did the same thing about Islam actually, and it's the same result actually. You cannot be sure that.
But that's the case for anyone who lived a long time ago. If you go far enough into the past, if he wasn't like a very powerful king, even then, especially if he was controversial. Prophets are controversial في وقتهم. They're not like people اللي c'est bon نجحوا. Like usually just يكونوا at the summum of their popularity قبل ما يموتوا. بصح at the same time like كي يموتوا they're not very popular. They become extremely popular way before they die. So هذوك the recordings etc.
That's the thing.
يصراو after they die.
That's the thing.
While they're alive. Even in Islam it's the case like Sahih Bukhari, Sahih Muslim
they were written في العباسيين
like hundreds of years after the death of the prophet. So it's difficult to.
I told you هذه اسمها historical method اللي you need to prove an existence following this method.
وهي تاني مشكلة تاع I have a problem ما نكذبش عليك مع the historical method. مع applying historical method like تجيب technique تاعها it's like basically scientific method applied on history. The same problem happens with psychology, same problems happens with archaeology. When scientific method works very well with things that are consistent that can be verified
حاجة اللي مازالت
experimented on. معناتها إذا أنت you came up with a theory I could actually أنا وحدي I test it and check. if I want to apply this correctly to the historical method معناتها لازم نخدم ماشينة and I go check for myself like شو ما نقعدش speculation ونقول بلي نورمالمون هكذا شغل history كامل رايحة في نورمالمون وكيف مع وجهات لها archaeology psychology je veux pas dire n'importe quoi parce que you could still do some effort بصح archaeology تاني فيها مشاكل تاع we still don't know how they built the pyramids.
Yeah.
For example.
You know, actually, I was watching video and reading about it a few days ago. كاينة واحدة the stela of Djoser, I think. The famine stela إلا سمحت بها. C'est une stèle هكا في الصحراء. كاتبين فيها باللي مصر فاتت على 7 سنين فامين.
Okay.
Which can be confirmed, you know, like احنا عندنا في الإسلام باللي جازوا 7 سنين and stuff.
Okay.
So كاين واحد theorist اللي he said باللي هذوك بون هذيك الحجرة كتبت في Ptolemaic period هي بين 200 و بين 300 ولا 305 نورمالمون بدا يحكم بطوليمي هذا كان جنرال تاع الكسندر ذا جريت. alright الكسندر ذا جريت حكم 32 حكم كامل the known world من الجريس مصر وراح حتى البيرجنز he destroyed them actually. So when he died on his deathbed they asked him who's going to become the next king. He said the strongest. So كان عنده 4 generals واحد سموه سيلوسيوس وواحد سموه بطوليمي هذو الزوج معروفين. سيلوسيوس خدم the Seleucid Empire واللي قتلوا بطوليمي وبطوليمي راح لمصر. هو اوليو زعما كيما زعما like France استعمرتنا they tried to destroy the culture and everything. هو لا هو ولا فيرو and try to في Alexandria try to merge the cities باش يولوا يتعايشوا مع بعض. جاب they created like if you go and see Hermanubis like gods between Greek and Egyptians and one of these gods they created a new one called Serapis.
Okay.
So in 300 late 300 Serapis كان the last place وين كان زعما فيه كاين واحد الفيلم اسمه Agora كان the last place اللي فيه زعما knowledge وكامل and Christians they started persecuting the pagans. So they destroyed that Serapion اللي بلاصة اللي يعبدوا فيها Serapis and they destroyed the books and the statues and everything to be verified actually. So the Ptolemaic era هي last era اللي نعرفوا عليها بزاف Egypt اللي لا dernière reine تاع Ptolemaic dynasty اللي هي كليوباترا. Great now you start linking صافي كليوباترا was Greek اللي بنتها تزوجت مع روما مارك أنثوني اللي راهم اللي نورمالمون دفنوهم لهنا في مقبرة رومية سموها مقبرة رومية طومبوت لا كريستيان according to the signs اللي في البيبان. مش عارف إلا you went there and you saw the doors كاين 4 بيبان فيهم some sort of cross. So the Muslim كي جاو وفتحوا the region they thought باللي هذا قبر تاع كاش Christian personality and in fact according to some historians قالوا باللي the mausoleum of Augustus اللي هو أوغست اللي جاب هذا الزوج اللي جاب يوبا the second and stuff خدم mausoleum ليه هذاك mausoleum جاي يشبه that sign كانوا فوق شجار وكامل it doesn't look the same way actually right now so it used to look that way. And from where they got the idea they got it from the mausoleum of Alexander the Great. So Alexander the Great ما نش عارفين his body وراه كانوا almost يعبدوه almost deified so we don't know where it is and what happened to him.
Very interesting. Bon نحبسو هنا. وشنو جو بونس نديرو دوطخ ابيزود و vu que باش ما يصلناش كيما اليوم تاع رحنا في كامل لي ديريكسيون جو بونس we should do episodes special شغل نديروهم specific to certain subjects.
Like look I told you it has like more than 1,000 year history and I personally when I came here I wanted to talk more about the Algerian part.
Could you tell me about the Algerian emperor Roman emperor?
We need to finish with it. So there is an emperor Empror, okay. He was born in Cherchel, right, and he was a lawyer.
Okay.
according to sources parce que Roman Empire les empereurs عندنا 3 sources fiables at that time ومن بعد ما يولوش fiable anymore. كاين the Historia Augusta اللي هي fake news for the Roman Empire, and there is Cassius Dio اللي كان سيناتور وخدم بيبيوغرافي على les empereurs, وكاين Herodian Greek اللي كتب also bibliographies. According to these 3 sources, Macrinus كان سموهم Macrin en français, he was born in Cherchel, he was Amazigh, and he started to from a normal family, he started to become like a prominent, بدا يطلع في ranks. And then there is like Macrinus كي بدا يطلع, he became the praetorius prefect تاع Caracalla. Alright, Caracalla هذا باباه سيتي Septimius Severus اللي كان also the first of all emperor. They call him the Black Emperor. He was the first اللي كان باباه Phoenician.
Okay.
Right, Punic ولا كان زاد في ليبيا باباه, هو ثاني زاد في ليبيا وكبر في ليبيا. So his mother was Roman.
Okay.
and طلع للبوفوار ولا emperor, جاب زوج دراري جيتا وكاراكالا. كاراكالا ولا prefect تاع الحرس الشخصي تاع الامبرور ولا هذا ماكرينس. كي ولا قائد تاعو, according to some sources, كاراكالا tried to kill ماكرينس. ماكرينس خاف واش دار, قتل كاراكالا.
Okay.
And he became the new emperor.
صح.
La date c'était 217, avril 217.
Okay.
All right. And he had his son Deru co-empereur, Diodeminian اسمه. دونك عاد كاين دي ستاتيو تاعهم كامل accredited. حكم معاه 6 أشهر. And then he was killed by Elagabalus, people who supported Elagabalus. هذا Macrinus, he was like, let's say, wise. What وعلاه كاراكالا he was like ستنفو من الآخر. كاين نيرو, كاين كاليغولا, وكاين كاراكالا, the worst Roman emperors of all. كاراكالا he killed him, وكان زاد فلابي تاع لي سولدا. سو ماكرين بدا الفقر ثم بدات ديبريشن كيما انا نعيشوا فيها دوك, سي انفلاسيون ولا كانت صاريه انفلاسيون على باسكو الماني كانت مخدومه بميكستور الياج بين الذهب وسيلفر اند ستاف لايك ذات. سو على جال الانفلاسيون what did he do, قال لارمي بلا نحن نقص لكم في الشهريه في الباي تاعك. لارمي do everything, don't do that.
Yes, يدور عليك. طاروا عليه, قتلوه وجابوه إلى غابولس. Alright, إلى غابولس هذا is known as the gay emperor because he was like he was gay.
He was at that time, you know, like I don't want to take time because like at that time it was okay to be gay. It's okay to be gay.
Okay.
I don't know if you know that, but don't be passive for them. It's not don't do anything with men. No, don't be passive. Don't receive. But Ela Gabalus used to receive. He married 5 women and a man. And
okay.
Yeah, so they used to do that. And هذا Ela Gabalus كان يعبد a god, a rock god. إله الجبل. In Roman, in Latin, it became Ela Gabalus. إله الجبل. He used to worship a god. And if it gives you any hints, they used to worship a god في الجاهلية as well. They claim باللي حجر الأسود is related to that, you know.
Okay.
Elagabalus, they used to claim باللي that rock is divine, باللي جات من السماء نيزك ولا something like that. So that's why I told you when you use the historical method on history like that, you will see similarities in all the religions and everything. Caracalla, let's go back to Caracalla. Caracalla, like at that time, when you told me like the Persians used to, like when you conquer them, they give you soldiers, right? So these soldiers, Romans did that. Augustus بداها الأول. سموهم l'armée auxiliaire. من البلاصة c'est des spécialistes. C'est soit des archers, soit des cavalry unit and stuff. So يخدموا في الأرمي 25 سنة. They get the Roman citizenship and they become, they give them land, they give them in pension كل شهر. And they give them like شغل وزارة المجاهدين. You see, like really وزارة المجاهدين.
4 ملايين دولار في
I swear it was وزارة المجاهدين. Like whenever they need something هذول les veterans, they go to هذيك الوزارة and they try to solve their problems. All right. Before that they are not Roman. لازم تخدم 25 سنة. And if you die before, حشات لك. We can see that the steels تاعهم لهنا في في الميوزي تاعنا عندنا باسكو لي رومان في لاستيل يكتبوا شحال عاش يكتبوا شحال خدم you see so كاراكالا كي بدات تجيه الانفلاسيون والدراهم ينقصوا كامل what did he do he did what is called Constitutio Antoniniana. What is it? He gave the Roman citizenship to every free man.
Okay.
So عليه just to increase the taxes.
صح.
So like كاين like Roman citizens لازم they pay taxes وهو ما عندوش دراهم بدا تجي الانفلاسيون بداو short on money. So when he gave the Roman citizenship to everyone the taxes like they have to pay taxes وين يجيبوا دراهم. That's why he could at certain degree خلص العمي. بصح Macrinus when he came behind him he didn't have enough money اللي كان let's repeat Macrinus زاد في شرشال you know he got killed parce the first error he did that he didn't حب ينقص شهرية العمي and second of all كي قتل كاراكالا يماه خلاها حية يماه كانت معروفة اسمها جوليا دومنا وعندها one sister جوليا ميسا. This Julia Mesa had a great son اللي هو Elagabalus. What did she do? راحت للارمي قلت لهم this is the bastard son of Caracalla. He has more right than Macrinus.
Well, was it true? He was.
No.
He wasn't.
We don't know, but
yeah.
So the bastard son, you like مع ولد خالته ولا je sais pas combien you see. Come on, so that's Elagabalus like bon هذا حاب ينقص لنا في money وهذا عنده more claim than the others. Alright, so let's kill Macrinus. قتلوه في near Istanbul now and ولا Elagabalus. ومن بعد Elagabalus جا موراه واحد آخر وليد خالته اسمه سيفيروس ألكسندر ومن بعد سيفيروس ألكسندر قتلوه في 235 and started the crisis of the 3rd century. اللي فيها Rome was shaped and Christianity was shaped. Yeah. Like every hatred we know now, like most of the things we know now, let's come back to the city of Orléans. There was an emperor اسمه Aurelian اللي he defeated the Gauls في Civitas Aurelia سموها Civitas اللي Caesar he killed them all you know he killed all those people كانت كاينه une ville كانت تاعهم ومن بعد ولات مكاش ومن بعد هذا أوريليان شغل عاود حياها كي عاود حياها عطالها اسمه Civitas Aurelianorum ودوكا كاين نيو اورلينز في لويزيانا you see so from a Roman emperor gave its name to a city to the US Louisiana I think if I'm not mistaken you know
well Orleans جزء عليها Mississippi River
yeah I think so I'm not sure about that but I know بلي New Orleans parce que كانت part ما French colonies in the New World في Nouveau Monde but they sold them
yeah Yeah, fascinating stuff. Thank you so much for coming.
You're welcome. Thank you so much for allowing me to share. You know, because
with pleasure. I find this very very interesting.
I honestly struggle to share that with people because there are like the youth now that are not really interested in that. I don't find friends who are interested in this as much. I find friends interested in video games or even like Jordan Peterson and Andrew Tate and stuff like that. هذوك تقدر تلقاهم at a certain degree. But people interested in that much detail. And I'm not specialized in this actually. You know, I'm a translator.
Yeah.
So it's not related to my field of studies at all. I learned it by myself. So I wish to find if through this podcast, if we can find more people interested in that. It would be amazing actually.
Yes. You have an Instagram page.
Yeah.
Which is going to appear here. And راك دير لي فيزيت غيدي
Yeah, I do them for free by the way. I don't charge anything, any money.
Well, you should.
Yeah, I don't because I work most of the week and I have Saturday or Sunday des fois. So whenever selon la demande, if there are people telling me let's go, I go to that museum. Partie à l'Antiquity, ماشي partie à islamique. So I go to that museum and I do.
I'm gonna get a group of friends and we go, I suppose.
Sure.
Okay.
You have to schedule it and with great pleasure actually. والدخلة سي 10,000 les étudiants, 20,000 les non-étudiants. So it's literally for free.
Cheap.
You know? Yeah, cheap as hell, and you discover your story, your country, your everything.
Yes. So. Well, pleasure. See you again very soon.
Inshallah. Thank you so much.
You're welcome.